Hello friends, I welcome you all to this online session of a BA Part 3 Compulsory English. In the last session we have already started discussing module number 2 Part A, that is English for a competitive examination. As I discussed with you, this unit is very important for you to understand how to use language, and it is also very important for you to clear the competitive examinations. In the last session, we have already completed the part first of this module, that is vocabulary items. If we see the chronology of the structure of English language, you can understand. It starts with the morpheme. Morpheme is the last or the smallest meaningful unit of the language that can be called as a word. So the word, after word we have phrases. After phrases, when we combine words, we create a phrase. And when we combine phrases, we create clauses. When we combine clauses, we create a sentence. And when we combine sentences, we create a paragraph. And when we combine the paragraphs, we create a text. So this is what the chronology of English language. So vocabulary item words we discuss in detail. We understand that words consist two parts. One is a signifier and another is a signified. And bond between them, or the memory regarding this bond, is a vocabulary item. We discuss in detail. We discuss synonyms, antonyms, homonyms, and also go through certain examples that were prescribed to you in this textbook. So in this session, let us continue with the part 2 of this unit, that is use of phrases. And what is a phrases? Phrases consist more than one word. More than one word. So here is the definition of phrases. See, a phrase is a group of two or more words functioning as a meaningful unit within a sentence or a clause. So it is a combination of words. More than one word is there, and this functions as a functions in as a unit in a sentence. We will understand this in actual example. It is commonly considered as a unit between a word and a clause. So you can understand that it is a unit that came in between the word and clause. We can't say that it is a clause, or we can't say it is just a word. So it is a group of word that works, that has a function in a sentence. So it is determined by the head word in it with one or more modifiers. This is also very important. As in the last session, we discussed about the parts of speech. I shared with you one video regarding the parts of speech. I hope that you have gone through it and understand what are the parts of speech. So when we think about the phrase, and when we try to recognize whether it is a noun phrase or it is an adverb phrase, or whether it is a verb phrase, you can understand that it requires to understand what exactly the head word is. Whether it is a noun, if it is a noun, it is called as a noun phrase. Where if it is an adverb, it is called as an adverb phrase. Where if it is a verb, it is a verb phrase. So you should understand, you should recognize the appropriate head word. And when you understand the class of the head word, it is possible for you to understand the meaning of the title, whether it is a noun or whether it is a verb phrase. So it is determined by a head word and in with one or more modifiers. The main type of phrases are, see the main types of phrases: noun phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and prepositional phrase. These are the five types of phrases which are important, which are main, which we came across frequently. So let us now begin with a noun phrase. In this phrase, a noun or a pronoun is the head word. Understand that, as I told you, that how to recognize whether it is a noun phrase or verb phrase, that you should recognize the class of the head word. You should ask a simple question that हे कशा संदर्भातलं वाक्य आहे, कशा संदर्भात माहिती देणारं वाक्य. If it is about a noun, it is a noun. If it is a verb, it is a verb. So you should recognize that, you should understand that. So it is commonly considered as a uh, In this phrase, a noun or a pronoun is the head word. There can be an article, that is determiners, adjectives, adverbs as modifier means that modifies the meaning of the word, meaning of the head word. So you can understand that girl is a noun. A beautiful girl, beautiful is an adjective. It gives extra information about girl. So beautiful is a modifier to a girl. Understand? And a girl, a, as we are using this article a, you see that it is, we are not speaking about a specific girl, but we are speaking about a beautiful girl in general. So this is what you can understand. So there can be an article, determiner, adjective, adverb, modifier. A noun phrase can function as, this is a very important part of this paragraph. See, a noun phrase can function as the subject, object, or complement in a sentence and clause. As I told you, the words were combined into a phrases were combined into a clauses. So every phrase also functions as a as something into a clause. It has a specific function into a broad structure like a clause. So noun phrase, especially as we were discussing about, contains or functions as a subject, object, or complement in a sentence or a clause. So this is what we will understand, the structure of the noun phrase. See, girl is a noun. A girl is a noun phrase. A is a determiner plus noun. Then a beautiful girl. See, determiner, adjective, and noun. A is determiner, beautiful is adjective, girl is a noun. A very beautiful girl. Understand? A determiner, adverb, adjective, and noun. So this is what you can understand, the structure of the noun phrases. We generally understand that it should be determiner, modifier plus noun. So this is a structure of a noun phrase. See the function. Girl is an asset in a family. A girl is an asset in a family. It is about a girl. Entire sentence is about a girl. So it is a subject. He gave the girl a pen. It is an indirect object. It is indirect object. The girl is a noun phrase. The owner of his shop is a girl. It is a complement because it is about the owner. Here the girl is not important, but the owner is important. We are speaking about the owner, and we were describing that the owner of the ship, this shop is a girl. So this is a complement. So understand that this noun phrase functions in a clause as a subject, indirect object, and a complement. So this is what the noun phrase is. Noun phrase is very important phrase. You should understand it very clearly. Understand that noun means name of the place, person, object, anything that is a name, or this noun is also a subject in a sentence, or object in a sentence, or a complement in a subject. So this is what you should understand clearly. So this is a noun phrase. So now let us think about the prepositional phrase. What is a prepositional phrase? As prepositional, positional, understand, it shows, it gives information about the position. An apple on the table, on the table, understand, on the table is a prepositional phrase because it is about the position of an apple. So this is what a prepositional phrase. So see, a phrase that comprises of a preposition and a noun or a pronoun as a head is called as a prepositional phrase. See, the structure of this prepositional phrase is different one. A phrase that comprises of a preposition and a noun or a pronoun. Preposition plus noun or pronoun as a head is called a prepositional phrase. For example, an apple on the table. On the table is a prepositional phrase. On is a preposition. The is determiner and table is a noun. In this phrase, you can understand it is about the position of an apple. And if you understand the whole sentence, you can understand an apple is a subject, an apple is a subject, an apple on the table, and on the table is a prepositional phrase. So it can also be formed as a preposition plus noun phrase. As I told you, an apple on the table, on the table is a prepositional phrase. The noun is a, sorry, the table is a noun phrase. So prepositional phrase functions as a adverbial in a clauses. It is about, it is an, it work as an adverbial in a clauses. So this is what we learn in this particular prepositional phrase. We should understand that prepositional phrase consists of two parts. One is a preposition and another is a noun or noun phrase. Prepositional phrases always works as a adverbial in clauses. In sentence it is always work as an adverbials. So understand the examples. Ramesh is going to the garden. It is an adverbial, to the garden, and it is about the going. Seema always sings in a melodious voice. See, adverbial. What is the adverb? Adverb that gives extra information about verb. That is an adverb. So this is what you can understand prepositional phrase is. Then verb phrase. Verb phrase is also important. As noun phrase is important, verb phrase is also very important. A verb phrase is a phrase composed of at least one verb and supported by auxiliary or modal auxiliaries verbs. What is auxiliary verbs? Sahayak Kriyapadi. Sahayak Kriyapadi. It functions as a predicator. So verb is always works as a predicator. For example, he plays chess. Plays is a main verb. Understand the verb phrase. He was playing chess. Was playing. Was auxiliary verb to be charupai plus main verb playing. Or third one, he will have played chess. Will have. Will auxiliary verb plus modal auxiliary have plus main verb. So this is what you can understand the structure of a verb phrase. It always contains one main verb and other auxiliary verbs. And another important thing we should keep in our mind, that verb phrase always works or functions as an predicator in a clause or in a sentence. So this is what a verb phrase is. Understand that we learn about noun phrase, we learn about prepositional phrase, and we learn about the verb phrase. Then here is one example of a function. Salim has drawn a picture. Subject plus predicator plus object. Salim is a subject, has drawn is a predicator, and a picture is an object. So this is what. So this has drawn functions as a predicator in the sentence. So this is what you can understand the verb phrase. Then phrasal verb. Understand that phrasal verb. A phrasal verb is a combination of verb and one or two particles. So this phrasal verbs generally contains two particles. They are combination of one or two verbs, sorry, verbs in combination. The particles can be either prepositions or adverbs or both. See, it can be preposition, the particle with the verb can be uh, preposition or adverbs or both, दोन्ही असू शकतं. So it creates a different meaning other than its original meaning. For example, bring up is totally give up, give up. When we were using this preposition to it, give up, it is a totally different word. So this is a phrasal verb. Look after, break into, set down, sort out, put up, look forward to, look down upon, set off, call off. So these are the phrasal verbs where you can understand the two particles were connected with each other. verbs, main verb and auxiliary verb, both, sorry, verb or preposition or adverb is connected with each other and created a phrasal verb. So these phrasal verbs also have two types. One is a transitive and intransitive phrasal verbs, and second is the separable and non-separable phrasal verbs. What is a transitive and intransitive phrasal verb? So we will understand it in detail. A transitive phrasal verb requires an object. कर्मणी, आपण त्याला मराठीत म्हणतो कर्मणी क्रियापद, की ज्याला कर्म लागतं त्याला कर्मणी क्रियापद म्हणतात. सो दिस इज व्हॉट अ फ्रेझल वर्ब, phrasal verb, that transitive phrasal verbs, where you can understand that object is also important, otherwise it does not make a complete cycle. Without that it is not completed. So they will sort out the problem. If we, the problem is an object, if we drop this object, you can understand they will sort out. What they will sort out, there is no complete meaning to this. So therefore the sort out is a phrasal verb that we should call as a transitive phrasal verb. So he threw away the ball, he threw away, we can't make the complete cycle of it. She looked after her child. She looked after. If we drop the object, you can understand the sentence. She looked after. So there is no meaning as such to this sentence. So transitive phrasal verbs requires an object. You should understand. Transitive phrasal verb requires an object. Without object, this transitive phrasal verb will not convey the meaning that we are supposed to explore. So and then there is an intransitive phrasal verb, transitive, intransitive. कर्तरी, आपण ज्याला मराठीमध्ये म्हणतो कर्तरी क्रियापद, की ज्याच्यामध्ये कर्माची आवश्यकता नसते. सो सी, कर्तरी क्रियापदामध्ये पहा, but transitive phrasal verbs requires, sorry, intransitive phrasal verbs does not require an object in the sentence or to complete the meaning. It completes the meaning only with the dog run away. You can, the dog run away. This is a intransitive, run away, intransitive verb, intransitive phrasal verb. She was uh, brought up with care, brought up with care. This is a intransitive phrasal verb. So this is what transitive and intransitive phrasal verb. This is one type. Another type we discussed that verbs separable and non-separable. So see, another type of phrasal verb is the type verb whose verbs and preposition can be separated to be used in different places in a sentence. So they are separable. They can also be used in the joined form. For example, see, please turn on the light, please turn the light on. You can understand the phrasal verb turn on, we have separated this turn and on. So please turn the light on. Or then, they picked up their member from college, they picked their member up from their college. So this is what you can say separable. Two particles of a phrasal verb can be separated. So this is a new type, that is a separable phrasal verbs. And there is one more, that is a non-separable phrasal verbs. What is it? In the verb whose words, that is verbs and preposition, cannot be separated to be used in different places in a sentence. So they are not separable, and therefore they are called as a non-separable phrasal verbs. They are used together. The manager looked into the matter. We can't separate this looked into. It is a phrasal verb that is non-separable. He is trying to give up bad habits. Give up bad habits. This is also a non-separable phrasal verbs. Then in the remaining two, adjective and adverbial phrase, we will discuss in the next session. Understand that in this session we discuss about phrases. What is phrases? Phrases is a combination of words. And this, what is clauses? Clauses is the combination of a phrases. So phrases a group of two or more words functions as a meaningful unit within a clause or a sentence. So this is what we learn. Then we learn noun phrase. We understand that if the head word of the phrase is a noun, it is called as a noun phrase. We understand the structure of noun phrase, that is a modifier plus noun is a structure of the, or determiner plus adjective plus adverb plus noun is a structure of the noun phrase. We discuss the uh, function of the noun phrase, that is subject, object and complement. We also discuss it in a with the examples. Then we discuss about the prepositional phrase in this session. Phrase that comprises a preposition and noun, or a preposition and a noun phrase is called as a prepositional phrase. Ramesh is going to the table, sorry, going to a garden. To the garden is a uh, uh, prepositional phrase, and it works as a adverbial in a sentence. So this is what we learn. We learn about the verb phrase in sentence, where if the head word is a verb, sorry, in a phrase, if the head word is a verb, it is called as a verb phrase. Verb, the structure of this verb phrase is auxiliary plus main verb, or auxiliary plus main verb, and it always works as a predicator in the sentence. We discuss it in with an example that Salim has drawn a picture. Salim is a subject, a picture is an object, and has drawn is a predicator. So this is what we learn. Then we learn about the phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are a combination of verb and one or two particles. Generally verb plus preposition or adverb or both. This is what a phrasal verbs are. We discussed that phrasal verbs are of two categories. One is a transitive, intransitive phrasal verbs, and second is a separable and non-separable phrasal verbs. In intransitive phrasal verbs, we understand, sorry, transitive phrasal verbs, we understand that these phrasal verbs requires object. However, in intransitive phrasal verbs, we see that it does not require uh, uh, object. So transitive and intransitive we discuss with examples. They will sort out the problem, or the dog run away. So this is what we learn. And then we learn about the separable and non-separable phrasal verbs. In that we learn about that there are certain phrasal verbs that can be separated in a sentence or in a phrase, and there are certain non-separable phrasal verbs that cannot be separated from each other. So this is what we learn in this session. We will discuss these phrases. So in the next session we will continue the same and complete the two more, that is adjective and adverb phrases, in the next session. And then we will begin with a use of tenses. That is also very important part of this unit. So we will stop here and continue the same in the next session. Thank you for listening.